Hello and welcome to Good Evening Britain, a Force for Good's weekly show coming to you live from our Nerve Centre here in the heart of the great British city of Glasgow, with me, your host, Alistair McConnachie, on this auspicious Jubilee week with a 2-day bank holiday facing us and a weekend. We're also broadcasting on TikTok and we're also broadcasting on YouTube, on Facebook and also on Twitter. So please do give us a share, folks, and please do give us a follow. Wonderful stuff. Lots to speak about today. Oh my, what a busy day and what an exciting day and what a constructive day we have had here in the office, and I'll tell you all about it. But we produced this amazing banner, a design for an amazing banner, which I'm going to keep quiet at the moment, but it's 3.5 yards long and we're going to be using it this month, and it's related to the Queen's Jubilee, and we have a fantastic designer who put that together and we sent it to the printers today and it looks absolutely awesome. Cannot wait to get that out on the streets this month in a very exciting event which we've got planned. In fact, we're going to be out, A Force for Good is going to be out for the next 5 Saturdays in a row, going out on the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, the 25th and the 2nd of July. 5 weekends in a row we're going to be doing Activism, and that's just in the summer. We'll be out in August, September and October as well. So folks, because we're going to be so absolutely busy, what we do need is some income coming in. So we're launching a crowdfunder on this very programme tonight at 7:30. Okay, so please stick around from that. At 7:30 it goes live and we will put the link up here for you to see. And if you're on TikTok, you'll see all the links and you'll see all the stuff that we're putting out here on the computer if you go over to youtube.com/UK A Force for Good, or you can just listen to us anyway. Either way, you're going to be entertained and you're going to have a great British education. Thanks to everybody who's already making comments here. Ladies and gentlemen, the most recent issue arrived in the office on Monday. The most recent issue. Look at this. Union Heart, Summer 2022, Issue 6, Platinum Jubilee Edition. Isn't this happy and glorious? We'll speak about this in a minute. I'm just going to show you to you. Must have. This will be one of the best, if not the best, Platinum Jubilee magazines that's been issued in the United Kingdom. Certainly the best that's been issued in Scotland. The most educational. And hi to Lita, who is watching from Finland. Wonderful. Lita, hope things are nice where you are. And to Kat, who says, Happy Platinum Jubilee holiday, 70 glorious years. Absolutely, 70 glorious years. There's only been 8 Jubilees, whether silver, diamond, golden or platinum, and of those 8 Jubilees in the United Kingdom, the Queen has celebrated 4 of them: silver, diamond, golden and platinum. And of course, she is, in 2 or 3 days, she'll be the second longest reigning monarch that the world has ever known, surpassed only by Louis XIV. Louis XIV, who became king at the age of 5. Okay, so he had a bit of a head start. But the Queen, God willing, will even surpass Louis XIV in about 2 years, God willing. Alan Williams says, hi from Cambuslang, mate. Good to hear you. And Samuel, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone at AFFG is doing amazing. We absolutely are doing amazing. The Platinum Jubilee is practically here, and I hope everyone has an incredible and historic weekend. Absolutely. Well, we are going to celebrate by having a street stall. More about that in a minute. Alan says, I think Sturgeon is saying we can spend what we like on what we want to. Westminster is our begging bowl. That's just talking about Sturgeon. Somebody sent me this clip today, right? Oh, I didn't know this. Do you know that the Scottish executive, they have 28 chauffeur-driven cars to ferry their quote-unquote ministers around? Scottish ministers have been urged to give up their taxpayer-funded chauffeur-driven cars until the chaos on Scotland's nationalised railways is resolved. Ban car parks in rail chaos, SNP told by Anas Sarwar, who really laid into them last week on this particular matter. The government's fleet of 28 governments, it's not government, administration, but it says here, it's misnamed here. The administration's fleet of 28 cars includes Teslas, Mercedes and Lexus vehicles, plus 23 drivers and staff, costing taxpayers almost 1.4 million per year. It's been more than that. 28 chauffeur-driven cars are going to cost, with 23 drivers and staff, it'll be more than 1.4 million a year, mate. Far more than that. Imagine that, right? You make up like a fancy ministerial role, like, minister for takeaways and chicken nuggets or something like that, and you get a chauffeur-driven car. Absolutely fantastic sinecure if you can wing it. Oh man, absolutely. So let's have a wee look here before we examine our crowdfunder, which is going live at 7:30. When it goes live at 7:30, we're going to put the link up and people can donate, and we'll see if we've got anything by 8 o'clock. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And we've got some amazing rewards, which I'll show you as well. But first I want to talk about this Union Heart, which really is an amazing piece of work. All the photographs, by the way, are taken by A Force for Good. And that was the Queen in 2012 when she was in George Square with Prince Philip. And that's a quote there, a really nice quote from her. And then we talk about the role of the monarch, because people go, what's the monarch for? What's the point of the Queen? Well, we detail the point of the Queen as essentially head of state and national icon, living national symbol of the people's sovereignty. And then, wait till you see this. Bruce to Elizabeth, our great British monarchy. And that is a family tree which traces the descent right down to Prince William directly from Robert the Bruce. That's absolutely a fantastic family tree, and that's credited to a family tree that we found in Debrett's Royal Scotland, and that's published there for posterity. And for all the doubting Nats who don't believe us when we say that, you can trace the lineage right there, and that's worth it. The magazine alone, it's worth it. And here we talk about the relationship between the monarchy and the relationship between the people's democratic sovereignty, because that's always one that the anti-monarchists will come up with. It's like they don't understand that the Queen is simply the symbol of the sovereignty of the people, the democratic sovereignty of the people. But she can also be the symbol of the legal sovereignty of Parliament, and she can also be the symbol of the national sovereignty of the nation. It is within herself that these symbols are vested. And by vesting that symbol in her, you are not denying either the people or the Parliament or the courts or the nation of any kind of sovereignty. You're simply giving it a very convenient focus, a very convenient, tangible symbol. And wow, the British monarchy does that so well. And then here, it's A Force for Good, so we have to give a shout out to the Union of the Crowns, and this phrase that we discovered a couple of weeks ago that James VI came up with, the happy connection of two so mighty nations. And so we explain the Union of the Crowns in there, and we explain, of course, the Union Jack, which James VI of Scots created. And then we talk a bit more about that royal style and the concept of the realm of the United Kingdom, and why Elizabeth II is the second Elizabeth in the territory which has become the realm of the United Kingdom. We explain it all there really nicely, concisely, lots of white space, lots of easy words, and that's our inimitable style. And here, again, busting a Nat myth. The Nats always like to say lies about the British National Anthem. So we explain exactly what the British National Anthem is about, and the 3 verses that we have today are exactly the 3 verses which were formed in 1745. So don't be listening to any Scottish nationalists making up silly lies about urban myths, about strange verses which they claim exist, which absolutely do not exist as part of the commonly accepted national anthem. And then here we have 2 pages where we speak simply, we simply address the myths, the arguments, the notions of the Republicans, and we give the correct position on it. So that's answering the frequently heard objections. And then here we have policies to support the monarchy. And let me just talk about these, or at least one of these, very briefly. You know, Friday the 3rd is a new, well, for this year, it's a new bank holiday. So it's an additional bank holiday. Friday the 3rd is an additional bank holiday. And we have always said, and we've always campaigned, that we should have, in this country, we should have a British National Day bank holiday. And the media will always write about that. But they'll always come up with sort of absurd things which are never going to happen, like let's all celebrate, you know, Magna Carta or something like that, or something that's too historically abstract, or they'll come up with some political point that there's controversy about, or they'll come up with like a military date which really doesn't set the right tone for a national celebration. And so we came up long ago, several years ago, with the point that we should simply have a bank holiday on either the Friday or the Monday of the Queen's official birthday weekend, which falls in June. And that should be the national day. And that fits all the requirements of being contemporary, being relevant to all of the United Kingdom, upbeat, happy in the summer to give us a day off work, hopefully when it's going to be nice weather. And it avoids constitutional or historic or political or military matters over which there might be disagreement and which don't strike the right tone. And so that's the day to do it, is the day, the Friday or the Monday of the weekend of the Queen's official birthday. And I have to say to the government, you know, now is the time to institute that as a real thing that happens every year. Now is the time. You've set the precedent on Friday the 3rd. The precedent also existed back in 2012 when they put in an additional bank holiday as well around the same time. And so now's the time to act. And so Boris Johnson, if you want to make a grand statement to celebrate 70 years of the Queen on the British throne, then institute a British National Day and have it celebrating the monarch's official birthday weekend. The official birthday weekend, of course, being different from their actual birthday. The birthday weekend was a concept that Edward VII came up with in 1908 in order to move the Trooping the Colour to good weather. So Boris, here's what to do. Set up a British National Day. Now's the time, now is the hour. And it has to be the weekend of the Queen's official birthday, the Monday or Friday of that weekend. And it has to be UK-wide. You heard it here first. Has to be done. Now's the time. Don't miss this opportunity, because quite a bit of opportunities have been missed, I have to say. You know, here in Scotland, we were long advocating that Holyrood House Palace at the bottom of the Royal Mile should have a day of celebration in its ample grounds, which people in Scotland could focus on. And we pushed that, and we've pushed that for several years. But unfortunately, you know, this weekend and this bank holiday is going to come and go, and nothing was done. Terrible opportunity, just missed. You know, it's maybe got something to do, I don't know, with the fact that we're living under a particular dispensation with a particular administration that's not overly friendly towards those things. I don't know, but It's something that could have been done and wasn't done. So that's a missed opportunity. So let's not miss the opportunity of instituting a new National Day bank holiday on the Friday or Monday of the Queen or the Monarch's official birthday in June. Good. Now, at 7:30, we're going to be going live with a crowdfunder. It's set to go live at 7:30, and I don't have the URL for it yet, so we can't put up the URL because it doesn't actually generate until it goes live, which seems strange, but that's as far as I've been able to figure it. So as soon as it goes live, we'll get that URL and we'll put it up in the comments on Twitter and on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Kenny says, what about Scottish schools being the only schools in the UK not to have commemorative books for the Queen's Jubilee as per a decision by the SNP and Greens? Well, that's that's bad. I think that schools can request them. Schools can request them any time during the course of the year. I think schools in England were automatically getting them, but schools in Scotland had to request them if they wanted them. I had a lovely conversation today with somebody whose young child was having a Jubilee party at their primary school, a Jubilee picnic, in fact, yesterday, and they were playing God Save the Queen as well, which is fantastic in a primary school in a district of Edinburgh. So there are schools that are taking part in that, I'm glad to say. But don't look for leadership to the SNP or the Greens. The Greens are really like monarchy haters. They're really nasty with it. Terrible that these people are like ministers and getting driven about in chauffeur-driven cars and so on. It's just beggars belief what has happened to Scotland. Beggars belief that these people are given the time of day. But it's because of the weird way that the voting system works that you can wangle your way in there. Anyway, Stephen says, I hope I'm not working at 96, God save the Queen. Well, the way that the Scottish railways are going, you might actually find yourself having to at least be brought back after retirement to drive some of the trains the way things are going. Hopefully by the time you're 96, somebody will have sorted out the Scottish Railways. There, Mary says, schools have to opt in or parents can phone and request one. I didn't know that parents could phone and request one. There you go. That's also good, isn't it? I'll look into that and we'll find a link for that and we'll publicise that. Mary, thanks for that information. Alan says he must go because he's at work. Catch up on YouTube. Absolutely. Everyone else, remember to subscribe. Please do follow us, Alan. I know you do it, Alan. I mean, please do follow us on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely love the posturing of the Greens in Scotland over the Jubilee. As if the Jubilee's even that expensive. It's not expensive at all. I tell you what's expensive. Getting these people driving about in cars. Getting Green ministers, so-called, to drive about in a fleet of 28 cars run by the Scottish Executive with a staff of 23 drivers. Mad. Okay, well, it was on this day, on the 1st of June 1935, that the man died who basically, I'm going to go as far as to say he's responsible in a very big way for romanticising the Jacobites, okay? For romanticising the Jacobites in the popular imagination of children growing up. But on this day, the Englishman called Harold Boulton passed away, and it was he who wrote the Skye boat song, okay? Speed bonny boat like a bird on the wing, over the sea to Skye. Carry the lad that's born to be king, over the sea to Skye. Onward the sailors cry. Okay, lovely song. And he wrote that. Englishman wrote that. We've got a picture of him. We'll stick that up. And that totally romanticised that whole period. Okay, it put it to a song. Not a Gaelic song that people wouldn't be able to remember, but an English-speaking song with a lovely lilt that was based on a Gaelic melody. a Gaelic melody called Cuckoo in the Grove. He had found it and he put those words to it, and he really influenced British culture in that sense. Okay, that's the chap there. Okay, so all he had to do is write that wee song, got little children singing it at school. You've painted this romantic notion of the Jacobites, of Bonnie Prince Charlie fleeing the scene with Flora MacDonald and all that kind of stuff. Lovely song and lovely ideas there that he created in the heads of people. And I remember singing that at primary school when I was a wee boy. I don't know if they allow children to sing at school these days or not, but we used to learn that song, and it used to conjure up this sort of romantic vision. I didn't really know what was going on at the time, but it was only when I was older I thought, oh right, that's what that was about. But it really did romanticise it. Who else has romanticised the Jacobites? Probably Walter Scott would be the other one. But if it wasn't for these two guys, we probably wouldn't actually know that very much. At least we wouldn't know more about like the Jacobites than we know about the Covenanters, for example, because the Covenanters don't have a primary school song that everybody sings along to. And that's the big difference. That's why if you've grown up in Scotland, you've always heard about the Jacobites, but you haven't heard about the Covenanters, because the Jacobites have got the song and the Covenanters don't actually have a song that I can think of that's sung at primary school. So anyway, that was Harold Boulton, who passed away on this day, 1st of June 1935, who wrote the Skye Boat Song. Fantastic piece of British history, and an Englishman as well, which I find interesting. Okay, what I want to do now is just show you some of the little rewards that are on our crowdfunder. Okay, so we're crowdfunding. The crowdfunder is going to go live in a few moments, and in a few moments I'll put the link up. But begins at 7:30. You can donate as much as you want, of course, but if you also want to get a reward for a particular donation, then you can click on certain buttons. Like there's a £35 reward, there's a £50 reward, there's a £75 reward, there's a £100 reward, there's a £125 rewards, and let me just show you what they are. Really nice stuff, okay? And I want to thank the people who have sent these in, and the first thank you for these stitched AFFG caps, right? That's stitching, look at that. Okay, we've got 4 of those on offer. That's a red cap with our logo beautifully stitched on there. We've got 4 of these available, and they're good quality baseball caps. One size fits all, obviously. And big shout out to Simon Gold at nomorelockdowns.uk. Okay, he produced these for us. He does all sorts of merchandise. Simon Gold at nomorelockdowns.uk. Thank you, Simon, for that. Now we've got 4 of these to give away, and he's also done one in black. Okay, again, stitching. Black baseball cap with that stitching. That's really nice. So thank you, Simon Gold at nomorelockdowns.uk. Really good stuff. Do appreciate that. Now we've also got, thanks to Paul, you know who you are, has donated 2 of these anniversary mugs. Okay, 40th anniversary, lest we forget, of the Falkland Islands. Good quality mugs, good quality picture on there, and on the back it also says lest we forget, and 2 soldiers with a Falklands flag. Okay, so that's also there, and you get that comes with a wee decal as well that you can put on your window. So thank you to Paul for these anniversary mugs. Got 2 of those, so they'll sell out quickly, you know. They're worth a lot. Something else that's worth a lot as well is this blue mug. It says Queen Elizabeth 1952 to 2022 Platinum Jubilee 70 years. Okay, it's got the same design on either side, and it's blue inside, and that comes with its own coaster as well. And we've just got one of those, and we've got one of these red ones as well, which is exactly the same, except it is red. And as I say, it also comes with its own coaster. Only got one of those as well, so you need to be quick to get that one. Now, we've got 2 Union Jack polo shirts, which have got collars and which have got short sleeves. And I just want to say this very importantly, a big thank you to the man who donated this Spirit of Essex 100% cotton. It's good quality, extra large Union Jack polo shirt with a collar and short sleeves, and it was the Silent Klansman who donated that. You know, the chap who goes on the Scottish nationalist marches, the Silent Klansman. Well, he gave this to one of our people back at one of the marches that our colleague was at, and he said, please give this to Alistair and use it as you like, and just make sure that you mention me. So, Mr. Silent Klansman, no doubt we'll be seeing you this summer, and just want to say a big thank you for this. And we've got a little award that we'd like to present to you as well, Mr. Silent Klansman, when we see you next, which something tells me is going to be fairly soon. Similarly, we have got the same one, but this is in small, and this was donated to us by our good friend and colleague Derek. Derek, you know who you are, and so thank you as well. This is 100% cotton Union Jack polo shirt with a collar, short sleeves, and it's small size. So we've got an extra large one and a small one. Christopher finds it amusing. The Silent Klansman has given us some stuff. There you go, Simon, I will embroider the AFFG logo on it. Well, you did indeed. Thank you very much for that. And if people would like to contact you, Simon, in order to request any kind of designs, feel free to put your contact details up there in the comment thread. Oh, as Simon says here, it goes, if there are more donations, I will send more. Well, thank you very much, Simon. Thank you very much. So that means if these incredible things, if these run out, then Simon is actually going to produce some more for us. Well, that's beyond generous, Simon. You're a great chap. That's Simon from nomorlockdowns.uk. Please check out his sensible comments. Absolutely. Okay, fire up some more comments there while I'm generating the QR code. That's the crowdfunder.co.uk/P/Union 2022. That's now live, and that's going to be live until the 29th, Wednesday the 29th of June, for the next 28 days. So when that ends, we'll actually be broadcasting at 7:30 when that ends, so we'll be able to tell you how much we have raised, and we're looking for £2,500 to take us through July, August, September, October and November, and that's a pretty modest £500 a month to get us through those 5 months of activism and online outreach. Think about it this way. Today we heard that the Scottish the Scottish administration, the Scottish executive, SNP, Nicola Sturgeon, has put aside, right, because apparently it's lying around, has put aside £20 million in order to campaign for a second referendum next year. £20 million of British taxpayers' money she has put aside, apparently found that it doesn't need to be spent on anything else other than campaigning for a referendum, which she will not, of course, get. But it doesn't matter that she's not going to get it. The point is she's going to spend that money campaigning to break up the United Kingdom on the excuse that it's for a referendum, which she's not going to get. So £20 million of our money is being allowed to be spent, being allowed to be put aside for the referendum. Boris Johnson, you need to step up and you need to stop that. You really do need to stop that, okay? So we're up against that. We're all up against it. £20 million for 12 months of campaigning, apparently, and we're asking for £2,500 for the next 5 months. So it's a pretty good deal when you look at it that way. And we have a great team here. Thank you to our Facebook admin who suggested that I put up that QR code, and also to our video editor, of course, without whom we could not do this show either. So yeah, absolutely good stuff. Let me just get rid of that at the moment and let's get some comments up. Oh, David, thank you. This guy keeps the home fires burning, works so hard for the union. Such a fantastic dude. Well, thank you, David. And that's nice of you to say. And talking about keeping the home fires burning, we're going to be out this Saturday in the great British city of Glasgow. So anybody who would like to come and help us, please drop us a line, contact@aforceforgood.uk. Talking about that, the question I was going to ask you for this, again, drop an email to contact@aforceforgood.uk. The question is, on this day, Harold Boulton passed away on the 1st of June 1935. What is the name of the famous folk song which he created and which helped popularise the Jacobites in the popular imagination? What's the name of the folk song that he wrote? And he passed away on this day. Please do send to contact@aforceforgood.uk. If you haven't done it before, you're in with a very good chance of winning this fantastic little badge which says the Queen's Platinum Jubilee E2R 70 1952 to 2022. Oh, it's all going on here tonight. Kiyoshi Kawashi says, are you having a street party? A Force for Good is not having a street party. What we do and how we show our appreciation for the Queen and how we show our gratitude is to campaign for the monarchy and to keep the UK together at our Jubilee Street stalls. So we won't be having a party on Saturday, but we will be having a street stall, and we will be in Argyle Street flying that big flag. Okay, we can get rid of contact@aforceforgood.uk now. We will be flying that flag, which is as good as having a party, I can assure you, and we'll be meeting and greeting the great British public. So looking forward to doing that. Basically, as I say, holding a street stall and giving away these magazines free, okay? Because we had a big print run. Of them, so we're able to give them away free of charge. So anybody who wants one can get one for free at our street stall. Now, if you are not going to be at our street stall, you can get one for free by being a union supporter, that is by being a monthly donor. We'll put the link up for monthly donors there. And you can also get one if you buy our little badge here. The magazine comes free if you buy this little badge, which you can get at our shop. So let's put the link up to the shop there. Or you can buy the magazine for £3.50 from our shop. Absolutely, Stephen says, with the First Minister rattling her sabre over another referendum, it's vital we all keep the pressure up. As I said last week, we're not going to be hearing the end of this, unfortunately. It's something that they're going to continue and continue and continue and try to bring to a head at the time of the next British general election, which will be sometime in 2024. And that's their strategy, is essentially just to create division, to create upset, and to try to get people's backs up, and then to try to benefit from winning the 2024 election in Scotland. That's their strategy. It's not a very pleasant one. It's just constantly divisive, as we've been pointing out before. Actually, let's just keep that crowdfunder link up there for the moment, because that's the big one. We need to raise that money, or basically everything's going to basically grind to a halt shortly after June is passed away. Because what happened was, we were quite successful for our Christmas crowdfunder. We raised enough to get us through the first 6 months, but I'm afraid after June is finished, unless we can get more from the crowdfunder, things are going to have to slow down an awful lot, because we do a lot, and we have a team here of 5 people, all of which are professionals, and all of which keep us going. And goodness me, as I say, we're going to be out for the next 5 Saturdays in a row, and we'll also be out in July at least a couple of times, and August, September, October. So we're going to have a busy year this year, and we need to pay for our banners and our posters and travel and camera equipment and all that sort of stuff, and graphic design, which we're always doing, because these magazines, they're absolutely fantastic, but they don't fall out of the air. They do require graphic designers, and they do require to be published. That was us at the street stall in May with one of our great supporters and helpers. And it really is, it's always a good day, and you don't need to speak to the public if you don't want to. It's good that you're just with us, that you're just standing there, just showing solidarity. So when we say come out with us, we're not saying that you need to do anything. We're just simply saying, do come out with us and show some solidarity and just be around. And that in itself is a very valuable help to us, because it gives the rest of the people at the table confidence that there are supporters around looking out for us, looking after us, and also making sure everybody's has a great afternoon. So if you can, please do come out, and you can do that by contacting us at contact@aforceforgood.uk. Drop us a message, and drop us a message at contact@aforceforgood.uk, and we'll get back to you. We'll tell you what we're doing, and we will hopefully meet. Do you need to pay for your chauffeurs, Alistair? Well, sometimes we need to pay for taxis. So yeah, we do need to pay for our chauffeurs, especially when we're taking stuff into, like, the centre of Edinburgh, for example. We'll need somebody to get us to the outskirts of Edinburgh, and then we'll need to get a taxi to get our materials into the centre of Edinburgh, so that we can then deploy them wherever we need to, and then we need to get a taxi back to the parking outside of town. So there's lots of chauffeuring that needs to be done. Unfortunately, we don't have one that is paid for us. We rely upon the generosity of our supporters to help make sure we can coordinate the logistics and make these things happen. And we are going to be in Edinburgh on the 11th as well. So if you're in Edinburgh on the 11th, again, you might want to contact us at contact@aforceforgood.uk and join with us as well in Edinburgh on the 11th. Samuel says, congratulations, Alistair Mevlin. And Debbie says, congrats, Alistair Mevlin. And Catherine says, congratulations, Alistair Mevlin. As does Michael bridges. Good. Good. Well, it's the top of the hour, and we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to play out with the National Anthem. And this was created for us by a good friend and colleague who is somewhat of a rock musician. And I said to him, you go onto YouTube, you can't find a heavy metal version or a heavy rock version of the National Anthem. And I would like that in order that we can play it at the end of our counter demos. And he went away, had to think about it, came back a week later with an amazing little piece of music, which we will play out on. So folks, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thank you for your comments. We'll be back next Wednesday as always, so it just remains for me to wish everybody a very happy 2-day bank holiday, and to wish everyone a very blessed and happy and glorious Jubilee weekend. And on that, let's play out with the National Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next week. God bless the United Kingdom, and God save the Queen.